disruptive.
America that I fought for.
Weird thing to happen. So I don't know if people saw this. This is a video that was done up by Mayor of New York, Eric Adams, who was senator at one point and a former NYPD cop. And he put this little video together, a little PSA demonstration of what we should do with our kids. And is just, well, let's see for ourselves and just see how crazy this gets.
I'm New York State Senator Eric Adams, and for 22 years I wore a bulletproof vest. Please come and join me inside my house. What I would like to show here is to empower parents on how to search a room inside their home. You write the Constitution. There are no First Amendment rights inside your household. So by periodically sending a message to your home that there are no rooms off limits, you don't believe in locked doors, your house is open to inspection, but you always have to inspect what you expect. You can look in the...
Oh my God. Right off. I mean, I get the point. Clearly, I get the point that, you know, kids have to understand that parents do make the laws when running the house. And when you're living under their roof, they are the ones that are able to do, you know, be control of the house and be control of you. Like, what parent out there is going to say this directly to their kids? Like, I know you have constitutional rights, but when you're outside the house, you may have a democracy, but when you step in these doors, I'm a full-on dictator, bitch. Like, what parent is going to say that to a child? And what child is going to understand that interpretation? Let me tell you something. If they can't even spell the word Constitution, that kind of is a dead giveaway that you have to take control of them. And now he's going to do a tour of apparently a child's bedroom that looks like something out of a television set. Like, this looks like something out of an episode of Growing Pains. Like, what is this? But we're allowed to stop and frisk your child's room because that is the parents' right of dictators in the household. Oh my God, Eric Adams needs to hire better writers. Like, come on, really?
Jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun could be hidden, a small caliber weapon could be hidden inside a jewelry box. When your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe, a used crack pipe. Could he have found it on the street? That's quite possible. But this is a discussion piece where you should start speaking with him to find out what is he doing with it. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. What does that mean to find bullets? Does it mean your child is carrying a gun? No. Where there's smoke, there's possible fire. Where there's a bullet, there's possibly a gun. The baby doll could be just a baby doll.
What house is this? What child has the ability to afford bullets and have a gun in the house? Like, are parents that clueless? Are parents that clueless? Would they not see their child firsthand walk in the door and be like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I picked up this little pistol here on the side of the road." Who leaves a pistol on the side of the road for a child to pick up? I have so many questions. I have so many questions about this PSA and why this PSA exists. Like, kids apparently can afford to have bullets in their supposed bedroom, which this bedroom seems nicer than my room. And I'm a grown man. This is apparently a child's bedroom. This is better than any child I know that has a room like this. I can afford a jewelry box to hide bullets behind a picture frame on top of this wall of awesomeness. Oh my God. Oh. A gun, a crack pipe, some bullets. I feel like this is an episode of Cribs featuring Hunter Biden. Let's take a look at this bachelor fridge. Let's take a look at what's behind whore number 1. Oh my God. I don't know how parents, I get the perspective that Eric Adams is trying to say. I just don't understand how parents can look at this and take this literally. Anyway, there's more to this.
Doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs. Run your hands over the pillows. This could be hidden inside a pillow, a gun. Just look and see what's inside your bookcases. Perfect place to hide cocaine. There are no First Amendment.
Okay, first of all, these are children. He's talking about a child's room. Children who barely know their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but apparently are smart enough to hide illegal narcotics in a pillow shoved into a doll and bullets behind a picture frame. What is happening? What has happened to society? Kids are supposed to be kids. But now apparently they're so smart enough to hide narcotics in their bedroom that we have to have a stop and frisk moment for parents to do a CSI investigation of your child's room because, my God, your little Timmy, your little Susie, that's barely reading Stuart Little, is smart enough to hide narcotics in their room. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I know this is supposed to be a serious subject, but I can't hold this together. I can't make a straight face of this. Wow. Oh, my God. Oh. Is there something else to this, too?
Rights in your home. You have a duty and obligation to protect the members of your household.
You have a duty and an obligation to protect members of your household. Isn't that why parents usually teach their kids about this, like, have these discussions? Like, if you live in a very bad neighborhood, which I've lived in terrible neighborhoods, and I have seen, heroin needles. I have seen, drugs and alcohol and empty beer bottles scattered all over the place when I was a kid in, like, playgrounds. But our parents, at least in Canada here, sat down with us and had this discussion and said, there are bad people. There are this, there are that. You educate them so that when they see a crack pipe, they'll know it's a crack pipe, and they'll know that I should not touch this and not think it's some sort of kazoo. or maybe, teach your kid not to, pick up a pistol and think it's a play toy that they're going to hide in a jewelry box. Like, who's teaching the kids how to hide drugs? Like, are the cartels teaching kids now? Is that what's happening with education now? We can barely teach them to read, but sure, we can show them how to hide narcotics in a doll. Oh my God. Maybe it's the employees at Build-A-Bear. Those damn hooligans, they're not filling it with stuffing anymore. Oh, man. The fact that a PSA like that has to be done, and the fact that the mayor of New York City, former cop, Senator, New York Mayor Eric Adams, it's just sad. It's sad the direction of where things are going. And like I said, we never had this kind of craziness when I was growing up. And drugs, alcohol, substance abuse, depression, anxiety have been around for decades. Like every generation had at one point or another had these discussions for a long while. But never so like rambunctious and crazy and insane as something like this. So I'm telling you, this is my little PSA disclaimer, is teach your kids beforehand. And if they are in a bad neighborhood, make sure you tell them how bad this neighborhood is. Like, don't give them the false identity of saying that everything's going to be okay when you know things aren't going to be okay. Like, the world is a scary place. But the more you educate, the more acknowledgement you understand about the world, the more you're able to protect yourself. And that is what we should be doing. Because this is just, I don't know what comes after this. So, okay, you apparently went onto the set of Growing Pains and saw little Timmy has a little pea shooter pistol in a jewelry box. I didn't hear him say afterwards, does that follow with a discussion? Do we punish him? Do we label him a criminal forever? Like, anyway, it's fear mongering for the sake of fear mongering. So now it's the government epitomizing parents and kids, which is not an unusual tactic that they've never done before. Like it's fairly common practice that they've tried to separate parents and children. Like, look at sadly, look at the LGBTQ plus movement. How they tried to separate and divide parents' rights from children and saying that children should keep secrets away from the parents about their pronouns. That should be, the government's role. Because apparently they know your kids best. Which, scary enough. All that is exactly the same as what Native children, Indigenous children, had to deal with when it came to the residential schools. Because it was the government and the Catholic religion that went after these indigenous villages, separated the children from the parents, told the children that their parents are so awful and that they're evil. So we're going to send you to this educational facility that you're going to sleep in, and you're going to work, and we're going to educate you to make you more proper. That's the exact same notion they used then, and they're trying to use now. Like, that's how eerie it is. So, we really have to restructure the family objectives in this. And just laugh how delusional PSA like this is. Oh, man.